Good morning on what is a damp, blustery and overcast day. I am in the Radio Nook, catching a break between the showers, accompanied of course by a nice hot cup of tea. And what I'm going to look at today is this, which is the Starfinder release for Free RPG Day. Now, Free RPG Day took place on Saturday, the 16th of October, at your friendly local gaming store, and I hope you were able to get there and grab something which caught your interest from the array of titles and supplements available on the day. And if not, well, hopefully you'll be able to download them very soon. And of course, if you don't have a friendly local gaming store, I am sure you'll be able to find one online that might not be local, but which is friendly and will do mail order service. And that includes Fanboy 3. And I mentioned Fanboy 3 in Manchester because without Fanboy 3 and its owner David Salisbury, I would not have this in my hands. Okay. Basically, he was kind enough to provide me with copies of most of the releases for Free RPG Day this year, and so I am able to do an overview video like this of each one of them and follow up with a full and proper review on my blog. So, Starfinder, the Starfinder Four versus the Hardlight Harlequin. Power up. Everyone across the galaxy enjoys the occasional diversion in holographic amusement chamber, whether it's relaxing on a sunny beach or taking part in an action-packed adventure on a war-torn battlefield from the safety of home. But what happens when the digital settings and inhabitants of these simulations come to life and threaten a group of innocent fun seekers? Thanks to some inadvertently malicious code created by a proud game designer, such a calamitous event has occurred on a small moon hosting an entertainment expo. The building is slowly but surely being digitised, while the game designer's mind has been taken over by a comic book villain. Only a group of newly recruited Starfinders can save the day. Now, Starfinder is the science fiction equivalent to Pathfinder's Paizo's Pathfinder role-playing game, which is derived from Dungeons and Dragons originally back 2009, something like that. And can be best described, basically, it's a variation of derived from Dungeons and Dragons 3.5. And this came out of Starfinder came out a few years ago, and essentially does all of the fantasy elements, goblins and elves and dwarves and so on, and casts them into space. It's not the first time it's been done, but it's probably the most popular version of that kind of trope, that setup. But what have we got here? Essentially, in previous years for Starfinder, the Free RPG Day release has involved a team of goblins, and like essentially, or skitters, I should say. Sorry, I'm going to call it skitters. Sorry. And that follows the similar pattern for the Pathfinder releases, which focused on a group of goblins. So we open up, we've got a nice bright map, sort of almost neon colours to say this is a science fiction setting, and so do the colours of the artwork as well. The fantasy artwork is sort of like is a little bit more, how can I put it, is not so chromatic or involve neon. So we've actually got the monsters from the holographic world, almost the monsters from the id, if you will, exploding out of the machine or out of the jack-in-box there, with essentially complete with scissors, in great artwork. And then we go into, it's got a description of the adventure background, and then we go into the loading screen, because of course this is a virtual adventure, or more or less. And it basically says it does say the Starfinder RPG has a robust starship combat system where each player participates in a role on a ship. Many of the options presented as part of Event 1 correspond to these roles. So essentially there's some elements of the Starship Combat built into this adventure, but not too much because it doesn't take place on a starship. Previous adventures for Starfinder on our free RPG day have involved starship combat. We have essentially it's a relatively short adventure because it's what let's have a look. It's 9 basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages plus the stats for the monsters. Again, they're all accompanied by these really nice illustrations, and I'm wondering about this. Basically, we have a rogue game designer essentially taking his revenge on the taking his revenge upon his creation and its players. I don't want to read that as too much, as too much of a commentary upon the upon the industry. But essentially, these are the player characters. Again, that's why they've got the great illustrations. I'm sorry, I'm quite reading this quite a bit wrong. But you've got 4 player characters. So this one is a just trying to read this because it's small language. An agenda, leader, gladiator, soldier. Error is a male android outlaw technomancer force. These are all 4th level characters. So there is Error, which I'm sure would actually lead to any number of puns and jokes on the side. In the game, is it an Error? No, it's another android. So there's another page here, if I can just, there we go. So another thing, we've got Glico, which is a Raxolite, an agenda, a Raxolite icon operative. That's taken from the Starfinder archive, Alien Archive 3. Well, there's another character here taken from the Alien Archives Archive 2. So you don't actually need to have those books to hand to play this adventure. But again, it's sort of like advertising for those books. And here's a character you can play from an archive, not the core book. So there we go. There's Glico, who basically has a techno suit complete with little tentacles. It appears, and all their actual plant forms, which could be the other option. And then we have Rita Orphanbren, which is a female Vlaka Solar Disciple Solarian. There we go. There's the, basically, and you'll forgive me if I'm not if I'm not thinking Vargar from the Traveller setting. Completely different, of course. And then last thing we've got is a map on the inside cover, and that's of the server room, also known as a maze. Essentially, that's what the player characters will have to explore, and essentially almost like a dungeon, but a techno dungeon, if you will. So but essentially, the Starfinder Four, which are those 4 player characters, and then the Hardlight Harlequin of the title is that, as you can see there, complete with giant scissors, and he appears in more solid form, or basically his acolytes there, again with the scissors. So if you have a fear of scissors, don't play this adventure, is my advice. But otherwise, this should provide perhaps a session's worth of play. So using the Starfinder rules, so this is not designed as a quick start. It's designed to support the game and as an adventure, which essentially Starfinder GMs and members of the Starfinder Society, which is essentially the society which supports public play and demonstrations of Starfinder, can run as sessions, whether that's on Free RPG Day or another day. Now, and again, looking at this, basically this will be a standard Starfinder length session, which is about 5 hours. I suspect this looks to be a little bit shorter than they did for Pathfinder, which was definitely 5 hours, whereas this could be done in a standard session of 4 hours, I think. Right, anyway, so that's Starfinder, the Starfinder 4 versus the Hardlight Harlequin for Free RPG Day. I hope you've enjoyed this essentially unboxing overview of another release on Free RPG Day. If you have, please click the like button down below. And if you've got any comments or feedback, I appreciate you posting those, and I do take the time to read them as well. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings here in the Nook, where you will see me with a game or a book which I've either got to hand or I've unboxed for my usual unboxing videos, which I post daily, and then chat about them to the best extent of my knowledge for 10 minutes or so, then please do hit that subscribe button, and of course it'll be accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. In the meantime, thanks again for watching, and I'll be back again soon with another unboxing in the video. Bye for now.